Okay, today we're going to be checking out the new Gucci Guilty Elixir. Yes, another Elixir. No surprise. And I'm not really upset about it because of the past several Elixirs I've smelled, they've been really good. Sauvage Elixir, the newest Boss Bottled Elixir, Lamal Elixir, good stuff, I have to admit. You may get tired of it, you may get sick of hearing about it, but these flankers keep getting better and better. Subsequently, they also keep getting more expensive. Paid $155 for this, and this is 60 milliliters. Let that sink in. 60 ml, 2 fluid ounces, $155. Okay? That's getting pretty crazy. That's putting it pretty close or almost right at the price of Sauvage Elixir. So let that sink in as well. Regardless, I picked it up full retail price, as I do with all the new releases. We're going to open it up and check it out. This is still sealed up, so this is actually going to be a true first impressions live on camera of me smelling it, and we'll see if it's any good. And I also want to give credit where credit's due real quick. I really liked Gucci Guilty Parfum. A lot of people didn't like that one. It was pretty quick to get, you know, swept under the rug, so to speak. But I liked it. Gucci Guilty Parfum, I stand by that one. I think it's a good release. I think it's one of their better works. Thought that in the beginning, still do now. So we'll see where this one stacks up. And I would be lying if I said that looking at the picture of this, it reminded me a little bit of Gucci Envy. And I was kind of hoping that maybe, just maybe, it would be Gucci Envy-ish. But I don't think that's going to be the case, just taking a brief look at the note breakdown. Let's get these side by side just for fun. Pretty close, not exact. Of course, it's been years since they've produced Gucci Envy, but pretty close. Like I said, that's not going to be the case, but I was really hoping that when I saw it launched online. Alrighty, let's see what we're in for here. 60 ml, I believe the only bottle size available, at least currently. Maybe they'll do like Sauvage Elixir and eventually bring out a 100 after everyone already bought the 60. We'll see. Same cap, same bottle, same atomizer, just shrunk down, smaller. Interesting. So first things first, not Gucci Envy. That sucks, but I didn't figure it would be anyway. Moving on to the bigger picture. It reminds me of something, and it is frustrating the crap out of me because, like, as soon as I smelled it, I'm like, yeah, that is something similar. And I'm having a hard time. It smells a little bit like Reflection Man, a little bit. The type of floral components, the white florals they're using, gives me a little bit of a Reflection Man smell. More specifically, Reflection Man, 45, the Extrait, the Beast one. Kind of a little bit like that, a tiny bit. What else, though? There's something else that this one is reminding me of. I'm trying to work through it in my head. God, that's going to frustrate me. I can't pinpoint it right now, but there's something else. And before you ask, no, it's not really reminding me of like Gucci Guilty Parfum or really Gucci Guilty Black or any of those. It's kind of really moving off in its own direction here, even though the notes kind of correspond with some of those others, the florals and everything like that. I don't know, very bizarre. I cannot for the life of me pinpoint that, but I know I'm really close to it. Let's look at the notes. We've got orange blossom, nutmeg, and pimento seeds up top. In the mid, we have yet again orange blossom, orris, and osmanthus. In the base, we have Ambro Fix, vanilla, benzoin, and patchouli. And for the heck of it, let's click on Ambro Fix. Clearly ambery. It's close to a mixture of Isoe Super and Ambrox DL. Woody and fresh with a piney and nutty nuance, cedarwood floral, leather-like, slightly tobacco note, and dry musk-like aftertaste, balsamic amber-like. By the way, I'm just reading directly from Fragrantica. That's not my choice of wording there. Okay. Let's get down right away. So first things first, and I hadn't looked at this yet, but one of the main things, Reflection Man. or what people saying it smells similar to. Now, they don't have the 45 on here. They just have the original. I think if it's going to be closer to 1, it will be that extrait like I had mentioned, heavier, beefier, stronger. Second one is interesting, and it's not really what I was pinpointing, but I can actually kind of see it, weirdly enough. Armani Code Profumo. I can actually see that a little bit. There's a little bit of like a root beer, kind of fizzy cola undertone to this, almost like a Tonka Cola. Maybe that's what I was trying to pinpoint there. Tonka Cola, I think, is what it is. A little bit of that. Going back to the notes, what's similar there? I guess not a whole lot. You know, you're not getting the Tonka and all of that. I don't know, but I think that's it. Kind of a dusty, powdery, cola-y Tonka Cola. Next up, PDM Pegasus. Not so much for me. Lacks the almond and things like that. Lamal Elixir, not so much. Doesn't have the honey tobacco, really, although they can say the Ambro Fix has a tobacco-y nuance. I'm not really pulling that as much. Lamal Le Parfum, not so much for me. Gucci Envy. I guess some people were thinking the same thoughts I was about the presentation, but in terms of smell, unfortunately not. I would love that to be the case, but it's not. And we're just kind of going down, like ombre leather, not so much. So yeah, a little bit of Reflection Man, a little bit of Tonka Cola. If you were to try to weigh it against some other scents on the market that you have likely smelled, and you know, maybe even the root beery Armani Code Profumo. Great noses there who are thinking of this stuff, and I'm picking up on the same thing. So that begs the question, is this going to be something that's going to be worth picking up? And I got to admit, I do really like this. I struggle with the price greatly, and the unfortunate matter is none of these new releases anymore are affordable. They are getting harder and harder to obtain for people who don't want to spend an arm and a leg, and they're just getting more expensive, okay? That's where you want to rely heavily on discounters, and I can tell you, this one will probably be showing up soon, and if you get on my mailing list and my texting list, I will notify you guys as soon as it pops up. Same with any other great deals, new releases, sales, rare finds, whatever. It's your one-stop shop to save the most amount of money in this hobby. I promise you it's worth signing up. And so it's hard for me, as much as I love how this smells, I have to say I do like it. It's hard for me to back this at 60 ml for $155. You know, it's hard. It is a full parfum concentration. Luckily, we get that. I can't stand behind it at that price, personally. I think if you can get this one for, you know, I mean, I would like to be able to get it for $100 flat, but I don't think that's probably going to happen. If you can start getting this one for, you know, $115, $120, that's better. It's still expensive price per milliliter wise, but that's better. It's just tough, like I said. You know, I'm not going to sit here and try to say you need to go out and buy this right now. These things are getting too expensive in this market, and so that's not where I'm at. I do like it, though. I think this is yet another well-done fragrance flanker release. This one's a little bit more confusing because it's wildly different than the others, and I guess that's kind of the Elixir trend as well, somewhat. Like with Sauvage Elixir, it is vastly different than Sauvage, EDT, EDP. This is vastly different from stuff you know like Gucci Guilty Black and the original and even that Parfum I was talking about. It's still using those florals, and that the notes kind of look similar there, but in a different way. Like Reflection Man meets Tonka Cola meets a little bit of a root beery cola from Code Profumo is one way you can look at it. Those are great observations there that I do stand behind. It smells nice, you know. I really like it. I don't know if it's going to be, I don't know where it's going to rank in terms of the, you know, best releases of the year. Lamal Elixir, I think, still has it beat for me. Even the new Boss Bottled Elixir probably is above this one, but I do like it. It smells great. I think if you want something different, a breath of fresh air, a change of pace, this is something you can grab into, and it's definitely a lot better and a lot more interesting than quite a few of the other Gucci Guilties. You know, it's not quite as unique and you know, polarizing as something like Gucci Guilty Absolute, but it's a lot more interesting than something like Gucci Guilty Black. And it's even a little bit more rich and heavy than Gucci Guilty Parfum. The Parfum's still going to be fresher. So that's kind of where it is. Gucci Guilty Elixir. As we're getting into the dry down, a little bit more vanilla is coming through, some more of that patchouli is coming through. Great dry down here. You know, the opening to me is where you really get that Reflection Man Tonka Cola smell. And again, especially Reflection Man, smelling it again, those florals definitely very similar. And that's why it was bugging me so much, because it's like the second I pulled the trigger on this, it reminded me of something, and that's what it is. Drying down, starts to get more powdery, some of that Tonka Cola, Code Profumo characteristics come into play. And then it kind of settles down pretty quickly into the dry down, about 11 minutes in, and is something more vanilla and patchouli forward. And you kind of get away from some more of that Reflection Man. That's kind of why I say 45 straight, similar. Performance, time will tell. Obviously, first impressions, I don't know that metric yet. Given you're paying a lot for this and it's a parfum concentration, I would love for this to do very well, and I think it will. I could tell just by smelling it here, it's going to be softer, sit closer to the skin, but I would imagine that it will probably excel in the longevity department, but we'll have to see. That's it. Gucci Guilty Elixir. There it is. Wait for this one to hit discounters. Don't rush out and buy it at retail. I think that would be unnecessary. It's something that still has some similar characteristics to some other things you have smelled, so it's not like it's brand new, you need to try it right now. But this is the type of thing, I think, where if you could scoop it up for a good price, a good deal, when it pops up on discounters, that would be the time to maybe roll the dice and give it a try if you have any sort of interest. Like I said, now's the time to be on the lookout. Mailing list, texting list, jump on those. It's free to sign up, unsubscribe at any time. Now through the end of the year, all of the big drops, rare finds, and big sales are going to be coming up. And so if you've been waiting, if you've been saving your money, now would be the time to get ready to splurge a little bit on yourself in terms of fragrances, because this is like the time of the year where the best deals and the best restocks come into play. It's usually pretty slow and boring throughout the summer, but now it's going to start ramping up. And if you're on the hunt for anything that might be tricky to get, it's coming up. That's going to do it for me. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care. I wish it was Gucci Envy. I wish.